Good morning, Philippines. Today's topic revolves on the three questions we received via our social media platform last week. We picked these three questions as it seemed to be helpful to all of our aspiring teachers out there. This will surely help them and enlighten them regarding their role as a teacher and how important is it, be it in public or private. Here are now the three questions. The best person who can explain and answer these questions are teachers who are already working in the teaching industry. And here they are.
Must prepare a lot of documents, tons of documents, and all of it must be original and authenticated by certain government agencies or organizations. So if you don't have enough budget or enough money to suffice for the procession of these documents, then it would be really hard for you to apply and get hired for a public school teacher position in DepEd. So as for the promotion, it's been an issue why some teachers happen to retire having only one position. So when we talk about natural promotion, you must be full-fledged, or you need to wait for a vacant position able to apply in that position. For example, there is no vacant position in teacher 2 or teacher 3, then you cannot apply for that because you must wait when there is a vacant position. But if there isn't any, then it will be really hard for you to get promoted. Right now, there has been issued a memo wherein you are able to reclassify your position depending on your qualifications. So if you're qualified to become a master teacher or teacher 3, with your documents, then you can apply for it. Only able to apply for reclassification if there is no vacant position on that certain ranking, if I'm not mistaken. So when we talk about tenure, actually, most teacher before applying to DepEd, they tend to have experience first at the private school institutions because they want experience. They want to master teaching first and be acquainted with the do's and don'ts in the process of being a teacher before applying to them. But you can also apply. Those are the positive and negative practices. So the negative ones is it will be really hard for you to apply for a public school position if you don't have enough money to process all your documents, and it will be really hard for you to get promoted if there is no vacant position. And we're talking for public school teachers tenurement, it depends actually. So the good side is you are assured that having those documents, it means you're really qualified. Those teachers in public school are indeed competent and qualified before they are hired. And then as for promotion, the good side is there is a reclassification of position. And tenurement, actually, whether you are in private or public school, you will master the art of teaching. When you're in the teaching field, you will really. It's hard to answer because I don't want to put an issue, but maybe I will just go into that general. Actually, if we are to apply the new system of education and we go back to the traditional way of teaching, some would violate the code of ethics of what do you call this, being a student-centered, because in traditional way we tend to punish or discipline our students in a physical way. This would really violate the code of ethics for professional teachers. You cannot spank, you cannot discipline that way. Anti-bullying, the VAUSI, violence against child and women, would be an issue for the traditional teachers, wherein it will be common to see a flying eraser, flying chalk, see it on the air, such things like that. There are stories actually in real life, like and MK magpakailanman, wherein they're featured teachers having relationship with their students, and that is really against the code of ethics for professional teachers. So I think it's not common, but some might be involved in that way because it is even featured to some stories and articles, and that is usual. I heard from different documentaries and articles say that it is really a big task. Even the teacher, the master teachers, or even the tenured teachers are going back to the start, where we are going back to the start in the beginning of teaching profession, because we're all adapting with a new system. The last pandemic has been already 100 years. The Spanish flu, which is in 1918, and we're in 2020. So even decades before, the education system hadn't introduced as a setup to cope or to adjust for this new normal. So it will be a challenging task for the 21st century teachers during the new normal, because we need to adapt effective, efficient learning, teaching learning process despite of this pandemic. So expectation will be really difficult. Responsibility, very huge responsibility, because teachers are burdened with tasks, not only paperwork, but also the responsibility that students will really learn despite of this very difficult situation we have now. And tasks, there are tons of tasks the teacher must do, not only paperwork, not only monitoring the students, even the releasing, retrieving of modules. You must with the law in accordance with the DOH, the protocols, the quarantine protocols, many things that I can no longer elaborate, but I could sum it up as a very challenging task for new normal teachers.
For private school, it's more easier to apply than of a public school. And the promotion is usually given to someone who has more experience and has served them the most. Tenure teachers usually apply in a private school to serve as their training ground and for them to gain more experience so that they can use those experience in applying in a public school. For me, the usual violations committed by some teachers are: first, using inappropriate language. There are teachers who uses profane words that would hurt students' feelings. Second, inappropriate discipline like sending students outside of the classroom and throwing things to the students. Lastly, posting Facebook pictures of the students without their parents' permission. Today's expectations are being challenged. More than 1.5 billion students globally are affected due to this pandemic. Teacher responsibilities become more crucial. Since educational institutions were way behind in adopting technology, having focused more in classroom, teaching never having seriously considered online education as a credible model. School sectors are more unprepared. So educators in the new normal had to upskill themselves to adjust the new modes of teaching.
Thank you so much, teachers, for gracing us today and for imparting your knowledge and expertise in the field of teaching. And that concludes our program for this morning. Join me again tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Philippines. This is Rachel Jane Hassan saying enjoy the rest of the day and stay safe always.